She cheated on me, and I exposed her to our families. Did I do the right thing? Hey Reddit, I've been struggling with this decision for weeks now, and I just need to get it off my chest. I, 24M, recently found out that my girlfriend, 23F, of 4 years has been cheating on me for the past 6 months. Let me tell you, I never imagined I'd be here. We met in college and everything seemed perfect. 2 traditional Indian families, shared values, shared dreams, and a vision of a future together. I supported her dream of pursuing a master's degree in the United States, even moved cities to make it work. I was happy to sacrifice my comfort and career to support her. After 6 months in Chicago for a contract, I moved to Raleigh for a new opportunity. I thought we were building a life together, one step at a time. I was wrong. One night, out of nowhere, I found messages on her phone, intimate exchanges with a coworker. She had always told me he was just a friend, but the texts were undeniable. It felt like the floor dropped out beneath me. I couldn't breathe, couldn't think. My world came crashing down in a split second. Confronting her was harder than anything I've ever done. She broke down, begged for forgiveness, promised it was a mistake, that she still loved me. She said everything she thought I wanted to hear. And for a while, I tried to convince myself I could forgive her. I loved her deeply, and I wanted to believe it was a one-time lapse in judgment. But every time I looked at her, something inside me twisted. The trust was shattered, and no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't forget. The fact that I had put everything on hold for her, supported her education, moved cities, sacrificed my own comfort, made it feel like all of it was wasted. What really killed me, though, was imagining how our families would react. They had supported us so much, especially with her going abroad. They had welcomed us as a couple, and now I was faced with the possibility of destroying everything. The shame, the disappointment, the heartbreak I imagined in their eyes. It was unbearable. Eventually, I made the decision to end things. I knew I couldn't stay in a relationship built on lies, but before I could move on, I was stuck with the question of whether I should expose her infidelity to our families. It felt like betrayal, but part of me felt like they deserved to know the truth. In the end, I told them. Telling my parents was one of the hardest things I've ever done. The hurt and disbelief in their eyes, I've never felt that way before. They were supportive but devastated. When I spoke to her family, they tried to defend her, but the evidence was clear. Now, I can't help but feel guilty. Did I do the right thing by telling our families? Should I have kept it to myself to protect them from the pain? I feel like I've destroyed more than just a relationship. I've shattered the trust of everyone involved, and I can't shake the feeling that I've made everything worse. So, Reddit, am I the asshole for exposing her infidelity? Or did I do the right thing? The emotional turmoil is overwhelming, and I just need to know if anyone has been in a similar situation. Update. Hey Reddit, thanks to everyone who commented. After reading so many responses, I realized I've been holding on to a lot more than I should have. This whole situation is far from easy, but I've taken the time to reflect, and I feel like I'm starting to see things more clearly. First, about the guilt I've been feeling. Honestly, it's still there. The emotional weight of everything is hard to shake off. I've been replaying the decision over and over in my head, wondering if I should have just kept everything private, kept it between me and her. But after speaking to a few close friends, including some who've been through breakups, I've started to realize something. Protecting my family's feelings shouldn't come at the cost of my own peace. And maybe I needed to let them know, not to hurt her, but because they were a part of my life too. They deserved to hear the truth, even if it was ugly. As for her, we haven't spoken much since I told our families. The silence between us is deafening. She reached out a couple of times, texts, voicemails, but I've just ignored them. I can't bring myself to engage with someone who's caused this much pain. It's been hard, but I feel like I've made the right choice by cutting ties. I need to heal, and being in any contact with her isn't helping. One thing I've learned is that healing is going to take time. There are days when it feels like everything is falling apart, and there are days where I feel a little lighter. I've started focusing more on my career, and I've gotten back into hobbies I'd let slide while I was wrapped up in the relationship. Things like reading, working out, and spending more time with friends who have had my back through all this. I've also been talking to a therapist. It's been helping me process everything, from the betrayal to the guilt of exposing her. I'm realizing that there's no right answer to all this, but the only thing I can control is how I move forward. I can't change the past, but I can start rebuilding my life, and that's what I'm trying to do. Thank you again for all the comments and support. I'm still figuring it all out, but I feel like I'm slowly coming out of the fog. I'll keep you all posted, but for now, I'm just focusing on myself.